KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. All new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E Fueling Excellence, McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedito. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, efforts underway to place a temporary moratorium over CLTC land leases after a recent AG opinion issued on the controversial Barragata Heights properties. Plus, trial gets going for a man accused for his part in a plot to kill the police officer. And the couple accused of trying to smuggle a large amount of drugs to Guam are back in federal court.
Hafaday and good evening.
Well, a temporary halt on the awarding of Chamorro Land Trust leases. Governor Eddie Calvo making that recommendation to commissioners as they investigate to find out what corrective action to take next.
The governor's call comes as one senator has introduced a measure that would do that, among other things, to address the land scandal. Chris Barnett reports.
Hot on the heels of the AG's legal opinion upending the Chamorro Land Trust's awarding of leases in the controversial Barragata Heights area, Senator Frank Uggan now on deck with legislation he says will help restore the public's faith in the CLTC. Uggan's Bill 284 calling for the CLTC to stop issuing leases until rules and regs can be authored and approved. This moratorium on leases will only be for the time it takes to formulate CLTC rules. The measure also calling for CLTC Administrator Michael Borja to be replaced by a temporary receiver appointed by the governor. The temporary receiver chosen from a pool of retired judges from Guam or the CNMI. The bill also calling for the CLTC rules and regs to include provisions dealing with ethics, standards of conduct, disclosure, and it also includes whistleblower protections. The bill calls for Director Borja's salary to be cut by 25% while rules and regulations are being drafted and approved because theoretically, Uggan's office says Borja will not be performing the duties of CLTC administrator while rules and regs are being adopted.
What process is being applied and why is it that applicants are not being entertained sequentially by the date and time that they submitted their applications?
As reported on KUAM News, leases to land management employees and their relatives account for over 25 of the 102 leases awarded at the CLTC's prime Barragata Heights property. A number of leases awarded at Barragata Heights involved allowing applicants to switch places in line according to CLTC documents. AG Liz Barrett Anderson on Friday issuing a legal opinion stating any leases that involve the transfer of a lease or application from one living person to another or leases awarded that involve switching places in line, null and void. The opinion also said that all leases should have been approved by the CLTC board, and she declared leases that weren't voidable but not void. The AG's investigation into the CLTC is still ongoing, and presumably the results of that review would determine if there was any criminal wrongdoing involved with the awarding of leases in Barragata Heights. Land Committee Chair Senator Tom Atta said Uggan's bill could, quote, kill the Chamorro Land Trust. Atta adding a moratorium on all CLTC leases would be punishing the many for the CLT sins of the few.
I don't think that's right.
Atta saying it took 20 years to finish rules and regs dealing with CLTC commercial leases, and there's no telling how long it would take lawmakers to write rules and regs for residential CLTC lands. Governor Special Assistant Vince Leon Guerrero detailed the land management to assist with the CLTC controversy. While Leon Guerrero would not address the specifics of Uggan's bill, he did say he was concerned about legislation that takes away power and authority from the CLTC. Even if the intent of Uggan's bill was to address the CLTC's abuse of power and authority.
They need a hand up.
Leon Guerrero said that although problems are plaguing the CLTC, legislation should respect that there are mechanisms in place to rectify issues with the CLTC's procedures.
If there's wrongdoing and criminal wrongdoing, we got the AG looking at it.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
The issue now puts the awarding of other CLTC leases into question. The administration confirms the CLTC has awarded about 3,000 leases, 738 of them just in the last 8 years.
Well, did police jump the gun? Key witness Janessa Corpus thinks so. The agate woman took the stand today in the trial against defendant Jeremiah Isazaki.
Back in 2012, Ishizaki was arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit murder and terrorizing, both as felonies. He and others allegedly plotted to kill a GPD police officer. Corpus testifying that they had asked her for her help, but never explicitly to carry out a murder. Locked, loaded, and suited up. Key witness Janessa Corpez used these words to describe police reaction to the very mention of defendant Jeremiah Shizaki.
The minute they heard Jeremiah Shizaki, oh, he has a criminal record all the way from juvie, oh, he has this, he's a danger to the community, he's a danger. That was it. Mr. Shizaki was a target right when I mentioned his name. That's the honest truth.
Ishizaki is charged with conspiracy to commit murder and terrorizing, both as felonies. The case is over 6 years old. It is alleged Ishizaki and others plotted to kill GPD officer Benny Babauta. Corpus testified that Ishizaki approached her to lure Officer Babauta to an isolated location so they could, quote, take him off the streets, end quote. Ishizaki, she stated, believed the cop had set him up and planted a gun and drugs on him in a prior arrest. Not once, she repeatedly told jurors, did he explicitly say he wanted to kill Officer Babauta.
Mr. Ishizaki came to me not saying, I want to go and I want to kill him, I just need you to do this. He did not say that. Mr. Ishizaki strongly believes that he was set up by Officer Benny Babauta on the last, I guess, arrest and they're on the high-speed chase. All he wanted to do was prove his innocence. How? We'll never know how because the Guam Police Department didn't wait for that. They didn't wait for the time, date, location. They just jumped.
She also recalled her encounters with authorities. The former prosecutor on the case interrogated and yelled at her and even threatened to arrest her for recanting her words. An AG investigator also urging her not to talk to defense counsel. Her encounters with GPD also unpleasant. One senior officer, she recalled, leaving her in fear of her and her family's safety.
What makes you think that your Shizaki is not going to kill you after he kills Officer Benny Babauta? You think he's going to make you walk away?
Babauta remains on the force. GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao confirming Lieutenant Babauta is assigned to support as the acting division chief. According to court filings, he is listed as a potential witness in the case. Trial will resume on Tuesday afternoon. If the defendant's name sounds familiar, Jeremiah Shizaki is charged with over a handful of others in last year's murder in the prison. He is expected to cooperate in that case.
Now, a major drug case against Raymond Martinez and Juanita Mosers is back on. Defense now presenting its case. This coming after Chief Judge Francis Tadinko Gatewood denied the defense's motion for acquittal, as well as the sealing of that judgment. The couple is being charged with conspiracy and possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine hydrochloride. Among the reasons to acquit, attorney Pete Perry is pointing out the government's inability to prove both crimes beyond a reasonable doubt based on their witnesses. However, Judge Gatewood found that there was enough evidence for a jury to reach a verdict. Ex-Customs Lieutenant Henry Alvandia was recalled to the witness stand by Mosers attorney David Lujan, once again trying to dismantle the witness credibility. Defendants argued they were entrapped by government agents with the help of Alvandia whenever they allegedly tried to smuggle 8 pounds of the drug ice from California to Guam. Trial continues Tuesday with defense calling more witnesses to testify.
A woman who lied on tax documents enters a plea agreement with the feds. Marie Sauce admits to aiding and assisting the filing of false and fraudulent federal income tax returns and making and subscribing a false tax return statement or other document. Each charge carries a maximum of 3 years in jail. According to court documents, she falsified information on 19 tax documents for her and others, causing a tax loss of over $124,000 to the U.S. She'll have to pay back $8,300 to the IRS for the tax refunds she received on her personal tax returns. As a FSM citizen, she also could be removed from the United States. A change of plea is set for May 16.
And a man caught with about 30 grams of cocaine in his car. Nicholas Glenn Frederick is charged with possession of Schedule II controlled substance and possession of the drug with intent to deliver. It was during a traffic stop police noticed the drugs. The suspect admitted that he had been selling cocaine and using it as well. Authorities then searched his home. That's where they arrested Danby Yee Rojas on similar drug charges. Inside the home, police finding more cocaine, packaging material, and a glass pipe with meth residue.
A man is placed under arrest accused of sexually molesting a girl known to him. 19-year-old Anthony John Nicholas Pacaya is charged with third-degree criminal sexual conduct. The 17-year-old victim told police she awoke to the suspect rubbing her leg before digitally penetrating her genital area. Court documents state the victim, in shock, got up and started crying before telling others in the house about the alleged incident. The suspect told police he apologized to the victim but was taken into custody.
Now to a frightening moment for a man and his family in Agate Friday night. Police say a mob of people chased after the victim trying to get away after being kicked and punched multiple times, officers taking at least one of them into custody. 18-year-old Rupik is charged with criminal mischief, disorderly conduct, underage drinking, and public drunkenness. Court documents state the victim told police two men approached him at his home yelling, "You got my little brother arrested." That's when they called him out to fight and started kicking and punching him. The victim, in fear for his wife and child inside the home, then got into his car. The group of about 10 to 15 people carrying pipes and other objects chased after the victim, telling investigators they started bashing the car as he drove off. One witness told authorities they saw the group chasing after the car that had been driving up and down the roadway. The chaos resulted in the victim then hitting one of them with his car. The victim, however, had told police he had no intention of hitting anyone and that he was only trying to get away. So far, one of the suspects involved has been charged. Documents state that he was drunk when he was placed under arrest. Another witness telling police the 18-year-old had been drinking because it was his birthday.
A quick note, prices at the pump are up again today. Mobil being the first to hike up its gas prices by 20 cents. This brings the cost per gallon for regular gas up to $4.42.
And when will it all drop again? Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
We're celebrating our 135th anniversary today, both in the outlying regions on which we hub and also here in Guam itself. It means so much to our team here in Guam. It means a lot to us in the Matson management team, because what it says is we're here to stay. It's a real physical manifestation of our commitment to this region. It's so important that we hire locally, we develop talent locally, we train locally. What's been a wonderful addition to our approach there is that many of the people who started off in Guam have gone off into significant leadership roles elsewhere in the company.
This is our headquarters here in Guam in Micronesia. And when we talk about putting down our roots, it's not just doing business, it's about everything we do with our friends, our customers, and our employees. I believe that nobody can replicate what we do, and that's why we have such a great team and such a great service and why we're successful. This is our home, this is our life, and we're happy to make a difference in everyone else's life.
Here's to 60 years of Pizza Hut, to original pan, to stuffed crust, and to the best of both. The new double cheesy crust pan pizza with stuffed crust cheese baked just inside the golden edge of original pan. Here for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Our mighty SUV mega sale is going on now at Cars Plus, and you're going to save big with cash back on every purchase. Get to Cars Plus and shop our great selection of Hyundai Santa Fe's, Tucsons, and the all-new Kona, Guam's most affordable SUV. Or our full line of Jeeps, like a new Jeep Renegade, save $6,000, or a new Jeep Cherokee, save $4,500, with rates as low as 1.99% APR for qualified buyers. It's Cars Plus, mighty SUV mega sale. Cars Plus, driven by you.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Decision 2018 debates in full swing. More high school students taking on the candidates this week. Over at the home of the Geckos, GW high school officials confirm all 5 gubernatorial candidates will be there. The questions were created by students during class discussion. The debate set for 12:30 to 2 in the afternoon tomorrow at the school's cafeteria in Manila.
This Mother's Day, the Traditions Affirming Our Seafaring Ancestry, or TASA organization, launched their second open sea voyage to Rota and Saipan. The crew of 6 cast off on the Fenigatan Guahan, an open sea class Marianas flying pro or Sacman, led by Ali Halir of Lamotrek and guided by an ancient knowledge of celestial and navigation. The hand-carved canoe arrived in Rota Monday morning and will be sailing to Saipan tomorrow.
Nice. Well, it changed the course of history, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan.
That led to the end of World War II and saved many, many more lives than were taken, says author Don Farrell, who has released a fascinating new book that chronicles the full story behind Tinian's key role in the top secret operation. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Don Farrell's new book is entitled Tinian and the Bomb. It's the culmination of years of research, which began in 1998. A librarian friend of his told him about a once top-secret file he could access in the National Archives in Washington, D.C. He went and was given access to several boxes of old documents.
And I just went, whoa.
It was the original correspondence from the directors of the Manhattan Project, the program to develop America's first nuclear bombs, and the Los Alamos Laboratory, where they were being tested.
And overseeing all of that were phenomenal, hugely expensive projects employing over 125,000 Americans who had no idea what they were working on. But it was the work that happened on Tinian that brought it to fruition.
The letters were for a team of about 50 hand-picked scientists and expert technicians who were sent to a tiny remote western Pacific island. Farrell says it sets the record straight for where the bombs were assembled.
I could sit down and read the story of how America's atomic bomb project was created on the island of Tinian. Yes, and they shipped enough parts there to create 50 bombs. It wasn't just 2, because many of the parts were arriving that had never been tested. They came right straight from the factories in the United States, and they needed to be tested. So Tinian was a testing facility as well as a proving ground, and then the launch pad.
There is no disputing the carnage wrought by the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, dropped in 1945 by warplanes that launched from Tinian's North Field. But for Farrell,
this was done to get the war over with, to stop the killing, to establish an independent and democratic, unified nation of Japan that would become our ally in the Western Pacific, to balance the power of the Soviet Union and China.
Book signing events are scheduled for Wednesday at UOG's Liberal Arts Lecture Hall and on Friday at the War in the Pacific National Park Visitor Center. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
And speaking of the war, did you know that America's oldest man has ties to Guam? That's right, Richard Overton, who served on Guam during World War II, blows out 112 candles on his birthday. He is not only America's oldest man, but the oldest living World War II vet. He served in the South Pacific from 1940 through 1945, making stops in Hawaii, Iwo Jima, and Guam. Today, he is still healthy and strong.
I enjoy myself. I feel fine every day. No pain and no aches.
Overton currently lives in Austin, Texas, where he celebrates his birthday, his years of life with his friends and family.
Here's a gift we've been telling you about all weekend. $2 million in tax refunds are mailed out today. That's nearly 800 refund checks cut for those that filed returns error-free by February 5th.
All right, check those mailboxes. Well, sports is next, but first, your island weather.
Smartphone Super Sale event. Enjoy huge savings on our most popular Samsung Galaxy smartphones. But this offer won't last long, so drop into a GTA store today.
This is pollock, and this is pollock, but they're totally different. One is pollock South Dakota, and the other is real wild-caught Alaska pollock from a certified sustainable fishery. And that's the pollock you'll find in the McDonald's filet of fish. So, no matter where you are, you can always get real fish caught sustainably from here. So let's review. This is that one place called pollock, this is real wild-caught Alaska pollock, and this is who can bring it all together, sourced from a sustainable fishery. And it's delicious.
Our mighty SUV mega sale is going on now at Cars Plus, and you're going to save big with cash back on every purchase. Get to Cars Plus and shop our great selection of Hyundai Santa Fe's, Tucsons, and the all-new Kona, Guam's most affordable SUV. Or our full line of Jeeps, like a new Jeep Renegade, save $6,000, or a new Jeep Cherokee, save $4,500, with rates as low as 1.99% APR for qualified buyers. It's Cars Plus, mighty SUV mega sale. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Here's to 60 years of Pizza Hut, to original pan, to stuffed crust, and to the best of both. The new double cheesy crust pan pizza with stuffed crust cheese baked just inside the golden edge of original pan. Here for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So I mean, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
In this divided world, there are still things that unite us. Great music, thrilling games, and the love for that perfect burger. Ruby Tuesday Guam, for the love of burgers menu. For a limited time, get an amazing burger for just $11.99. Lunchtime at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We get you started tonight with Guam Major League Baseball from the Pacaya Stadium. Check it out. GML Baseball is back under the lights of the Pacaya Stadium. It's been 2 years since fans have heard the voice of Mark Colby calling the games in Aganga. The defending champions Autospot Orioles took to the diamond in the opener against the Jigo Astros. Freddie Cepeda started on the mound for the Orioles, recording 5 strikeouts. His defense was on point, keeping the Astros scoreless through 5 innings. Autospot scored runs on the first few trips to the plate to lead 5-0 after 2 innings. Up 11-0 in the 5th, the Orioles closed out the Astros in the 7th after the 10-run mercy rule went into effect for the 13-3 win. Freddie Cepeda earned the win on the mound while teammate Florencio Flores came in relief with 1 strikeout. Pollard Masaharu finished 2 for 5 at the plate with 3 runs and 2 RBIs. Mike Bautista was 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Matt Muñoz ripped the season's first home run and was 2 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI. On Sunday, it was the IT&E Rays beating out Smokies 11-1. Paul Pangilinan got the win with 9 strikeouts. Rays player BJ Balahaja went 1 for 2, 2 runs and an RBI with a double. Dave Fernandez finished 1 for 4 with 2 runs and 3 RBIs. The Father Dueñas Friars played this year's volleyball championship game against the Teason High Titans with a heavy heart, dedicating the match to the late Tony Thompson with a spot on the bench. FD played with a lot of energy from the start, taking the first set 25-18. The Titans tried to match the tempo of play with All-Island player Jude Cruz looking to help rally his team. Nathaniel Gateson was on a mission, though, looking to send the 10 seniors on their way out with a championship victory. FD took the second set 25-17. Aiden McDonald puts down the kill here off a nice set. The Maroon and Gold closed out the Titans in 3 straight sets, 25-18 in the third, winning their second title in the last 3 seasons. Logan Pangilinan put down the game-winning point as Nathaniel Gateson rushed over to the bench to grab the picture of Coach Thompson. Fans stormed the court in celebration of the win, while they all paid respect to the man above, who was their motivation.
Big thank you to our coaches. They really pushed us here. And this is for Tom's. We really use that as a motivation to help us with his games today. And we know he's proud of us.
We had someone to play for, and it was all hard. We kept working hard and keeping our hype up. He's always there to encourage us, and we knew that if he was here, that's what he would be doing still, and that's what we did. We listened to him, and he was here with us today.
The University of Guam men's soccer team advanced to the Final Four of the Guam Football Association's Budweiser Premier League playoffs after picking up the 3-2 win in overtime against the Anderson Bombers. Jaquez Diambra scored the first goal of the match for the Tritons, putting away a penalty kick in the first 10 minutes of play. Kyle Lagazi scored the Tritons' second goal on an assist from Dylan Napati. Dylan Napati put through the final score for the Tritons in the first overtime period. The Tritons will now play the Rovers FC at 9 p.m. on Friday at the GFA National Training Center. Admission is free. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
In this divided world, there are still things that unite us. Great music, thrilling games, and the love for that perfect burger. Ruby Tuesday Guam, for the love of burgers menu. For a limited time, get an amazing burger for just $11.99. Lunchtime at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
It's back! The smartphone super sale event. Enjoy huge savings on our most popular Samsung Galaxy smartphones. But this offer won't last long. So drop into a GTA store today.
Take heed. Taco Bell's Naked Chicken Chalupa Menace is back, along with a spicy new wilder version, a.k.a. the Hot Daddy-O, a.k.a. the Flaming Phoenix, a.k.a. the Spicy Chicky Choop Choop. At least, that's what the youths call them.
I have literally never said Spicy Chicky Choop Choop before.
You just did, Jerry. You just did. So when it comes to Taco Bell's mild or wild Naked Chicken Chalupas, heed my advice and say no to spice.
Brought to you by the Council for Eating Fried Chicken the same way you always have, and not Taco Bell.
Calling all Honda and Acura enthusiasts. It's back and bigger than ever. The 11th annual 2018 Honda Tech Meet is happening Sunday, May 20th at the Guam International Raceway Park in Jigo from 4 to 8 p.m. Come meet the Honda pros for a free 27-point inspection, test and tune grudge racing, trophies for show categories, free raffle, free limited edition t-shirts while supplies last. Pre-register at the Honda showroom today. Space is limited. The 11th annual 2018 Honda Tech Meet on May 20th at the Guam International Raceway Park. Call 648-6100 for more information.
GU Self-Storage, Guam's newest and largest storage facility with the island's largest variety of storage unit sizes to meet customer demands. Our facility applies the most advanced access and security surveillance system, including the state-of-the-art Easy Code phone app. Keep what's important to you safe and secure with fully covered loading and unloading area in a fully climate-controlled facility. We offer professional packing, pickup, and delivery of your storage items and complimentary use of hand truck, appliance dollies, and pallet jacks, and all offer ADA accessible units. For our customer convenience, we offer access to our on-site business center, conference room, and mail hub services. Call our friendly and professional management team at 648-7867 to learn more about our flexible month-to-month lease options with best rates starting as low as $50. GU Self-Storage, located next to McDonald's in Harmon, the old GPA building.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy 88th birthday, Bonifacio Cordero.
Happy 17th going out to Jose Mesa.
Happy birthday also going out to Jean David James Lauru Jr.
And happy belated, Paul Gogui.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include your photo, your name, and your birthday.
And that's going to do it for us here in the news desk. Good night.
Good night.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.